Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all, rearrange. Never give up, never give in. We fight for freedom. We fight for America. We fight for America.
DC Intel. Stay ahead with real-time breaking news and intelligence updates from around the nation. Your trusted source for reliable and insightful information.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also you will get email updates for Guardians only. Plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our eiobn.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance.
Every generation stands on the shoulders of the generation that went before. And so you see farther because you're standing taller than we did and can look farther. But at least give us the credit that you're seeing farther because you're standing on our shoulders. We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace the label. Because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward. And always have the courage to be yourself.
We made it this far, and we're going to make it the rest of the way, whichever that direction is, right? That's right. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot of good stuff. Some bad, but not too much. Not too much. All right, let's see what we got here. It is Friday. We made it to Friday. Thank God we made it to Friday. And we got 3 days, 11 hours, 49 minutes, and 22 seconds now until... When is it, class? What is it? The election. The election. Not as if you didn't already know, or as if you didn't already vote. A lot of you have. I have thought about this, and I know I've seen all kinds of videos of people trying to go vote, and they've got their Trump attire on, and they're stopping them. Oh, you can't come in like that. You can't come in like that. Okay, so I thought about this. Since I can't wear any Trump attire in there, how about I just go and put a daggone trash bag around me and wear that in there? Just to represent, I'm a trash bag man. Funny story. I was a kid, went to camp, to a church camp. Yeah, me at church camp. You can figure that didn't go too well. I'm at church camp, and we got this guy that did security, and he was about 6 fries short of a Happy Meal, and but anyways, they let him do security. Good guy, but just dumb as an ox. And we would always play jokes, and one night they had this big old Holy Ghost meeting. Had a campfire, everybody doing their thing. Everybody disbands, goes to the dorms, all that good stuff. Of course, we're telling him, we're like, hey, there's some cats jumping in the women's dorm. I'll go get them. And they were skunks, is what they were. We was like, catch it. We were ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, funny as crap. But anyway, so one night, I know I'll probably, when they say you'll answer to God for everything you've done, I really hope he really does have a good sense of humor. So, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just telling you a story. A true story, man. True story. I'm a legend. My reputation precedes me in the church camp. But anyway, so I'm up there, and all these kids were praying, and it's Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's on fire for God, and some people just trying to get on fire for God. And of course, my thing was everybody was on fire for God for about 2 weeks after camp, and then after that they back out to their old stuff. But anyway, so I'm in there, and normally the last nights of camp, well, every night was a terror night. We would terrorize people, but the last night is when some people would put on masks and walk around, scare people around their bunks and stuff like that. Anyway, I just went up there, and I was like, didn't have a mask or anything, so I just took a trash bag, swear to you, put a trash bag on. See, I'm a trendsetter, guys. Had no idea. Here I am, 15, 16 years old, and already wearing the trash bags for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Jeez, think of that. And so anyways, I go into this one room. It's real quiet. And I took his trash bag, and he put it around my body, and then had another one wrapped around my head, just my face sticking out. It kind of looked like the guy off of a Young Frankenstein movie. And so I'd go up to people's beds, go, hey, wake up. They go, oh, it was it. So I went to one kid over there in the corner, and he's like, oh man, don't mess with him. Don't mess with him, man. I'm like, why? They're like, man, he's had a hard week. He's been praying. He'll be filled with the Holy Spirit. Like, okay, man, he hasn't got it yet. And I was like, well, okay, sorry about that. I'm still going to scare the crap out of him. Oh man, come on, don't do it. Whatever. So I walk over there and shake on his bed. Roll over. Roll over. It's the devil, and I've come to take you to hell. Swear. The dude turns around and goes, starts speaking in tongues. Everybody's like, oh, hallelujah, flipping on the light, and everybody's dancing around in their underwear in the dorm, and everybody's going crazy, and oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. And he's going, whoa. And it's like, dude, that's crazy. And I was like, well, if the Bible says that you get crowns in your jewels, do I get it? Do I get like credit for this? Even though I'll come in there to scare the poop out of him? And they're like, I don't know, man, but that's pretty crazy. So anyways, all that ruckus is going on. Here comes old Barney Fife, about 360 pounds, don't have all these brains there. Comes up there, walks in there. What's happening? I went, boo, checked him. He was like, it's trash bag, man. Swear. Took off running down the hill. We laughed our butts off, and I've never lived it down. The trash bag, man. Anyway, that's my kicker for Friday, okay? You didn't ask for it, but guess what? You got it anyway. Thank you so much for all your emails, your comments, everything. Thank you so much for my Wisconsin cheese and my chocolate. But anyways, let's get in here. I'm going to try my best to hit these as quick as possible so we can get on to the show, because I know a lot of people go, I don't like it when you read those. But anyways, Georgia in the house, McAllen, Texas in the house, Middlesex, Virginia in the house, Long Island, New York, Denham Springs, Louisiana, Columbus, Georgia, Maryland and Kansas City, Louisiana in here, Brooklyn, decent Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, okay. Tampa, Minnesota, not, okay. Dalton, Georgia in the house, Meansville, Georgia, West Tennessee in the house, Greater Tampa Bay, Florida in the area there in the house, Charles City, Virginia in the house, Alexandria, Pennsylvania, Johnson City, Tennessee, Winter Haven, Florida, Northern Virginia in the house, listening from the gym in Jasper, Texas. Awesome. Do a couple squats in there. Go ahead and add about 50 pounds more to what you're lifting. John and Shar from Somerville, Florida, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Texas again, Clinton, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, RC and EC. Thank you so much. Have your review regarding today. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Hey, DC, Beth from Indiana voted for the garbage man. That's right. If I had a daggone garbage truck, I'd pull that sucker right up there, and I'd jump out in a bunch of garbage. I'd make a pair of pants out of garbage bags and walk in there just rattling everywhere. Anyways, Holden Beach, North Carolina, Oxford, Mississippi, Oklahoma in the house, Lenore City, Tennessee, Missouri in the house, Wisconsin in the house, her from Thomasville, Kansas City in the house, Willow Springs in Sparta, North Carolina, Delaware in the house, Benbrook, Texas, Western Kentucky, Knoxville, Tennessee, Jefferson, Georgia, sorry about that, Bellefontaine, Ohio, Minden, Louisiana, Augusta, Arkansas in the house, London, Canada in the house. Thank you so much, Christy. Hobbs, New Mexico, got Florida in the house, Phil from Georgia, Madison, Alabama in the house, Loveland, Ohio, Watertown, New York, Fort Drum checking in, Dalton, Georgia, Hot Springs, Arkansas, Texas in the house, Maysville, Georgia in the house, Stanford, Kentucky, Wallace, North Carolina, Meet, Louisiana, Ozark, Alabama, Jefferson City, Missouri in the house, Jackie from Canada. Yeah, okay. Glad to be with y'all. Thank you so much. Bama is in the house. Let's see here. Trying to find here. Coasty Mike from Texas there, okay. This is Linda and Joe from Spring Lake, Michigan. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Illinois in the house, Arizona in the house, Chesterfield, Michigan in the house. Hello, DC from Georgia. Alabama in the house, East Jordan, Michigan. Indiana again, East Tennessee, South Georgia. Minnesota in the house, Tampon Timmy's place. Michigan in the house again, Oxford, Alabama. Fairhaven, Massachusetts in the house. Thank you so much. Texas, Alabama back up in there, Missouri in there, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Pound, Virginia. Tell you something about Hendersonville is one of my friends was voting, and he was sent to three different locations. Even though they said they was open until 6, it was 4 o'clock, and they were shutting down. They wouldn't let them vote. They turned away a ton of people yesterday from voting, which is kind of crazy. But he called me last night. He's like, hey, find out what's going on with this. Pound, Virginia. Gainesville, Texas in house. Bonnie Lake, Washington, Springfield, Missouri in the house, Orlando, Florida, good place there. Mississippi Gulf Coast, awesome. Childersburg, Alabama, Rogue River, Oregon, Port Charlotte, Florida, Wisconsin in the house, Kentucky. Kentucky voting for Trump. Yep. Yeah, I saw that video from Hamilton, Ohio. Listening from Connecticut, D.C., from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Nashville, Tennessee, good place. Hello, D.C. from Iowa, awesome. Kansas in the house. Let's see, Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Donna from Nashville, Tennessee. Morning, D.C., morning to you, sensational. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, another North Carolina house. Let's see here. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, Ringgold, Georgia. Trump knows about the Chinga. Yep. Everybody knows. Beaverton, Oregon. Deplorable for yeah. Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana. Connecticut in the house. Massachusetts in the house. Beaverton, Oregon again. Oshkosh in the house. Greenville, North Carolina. Oregon in the house. Long Island in the house. Dundalk, Maryland in the house. And Moore City, North Carolina. Tennessee, South Dakota, Indiana, Sullivan, Indiana. Minnesota again, Evansville, Indiana. Mississippi in the house. Another Indiana in the house. DeSoto checking in. Orange Island Beach, North Carolina. Orange County, North Carolina got there. All right. Ontario in the house. Texas in the house. Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the house. Cape Coral, Florida. Missouri in the house. Bama back in the house there. Bama Lamba Ding Dong, yeah. Bainbridge, Georgia. Central Texas. Martinburg, West Virginia. West Tennessee. North Myrtle, South Carolina. Lexington, Mount Airy. Lexington, Kentucky. Mount Airy, Maryland. Man, I know where that's at. Mount Airy. I'm trying to think. What's that place? Boone something? Or I don't know. Somewhere around there. I was around there. But anyways. North Central Texas. Alaska in the house. Mercer County, Pennsylvania. Dunlap, Texas. Tennessee. Sorry. Frankfort, Kentucky. Brighton, Colorado. Somerset, Kentucky. Yukon, Oklahoma. Grafton, Wisconsin. Dandridge, Tennessee. Greenville, Tennessee. Hosburg, Kentucky. North Carolina. Tennessee. Another Georgia. Rick, thank you so much for listening from Oklahoma. Corpus Christi, Texas. Cordova, Tennessee. Washington, Kent, Washington. Dallas in the house. Chattanooga, Tennessee. West Columbia, Texas. Owington, Kentucky. Tessie, if you'll just hang on, I'm going to answer your question. You've asked it twice. And I've got it pinned because I'm going to answer that. I'm going to address this. Morristown, Tennessee. Yeah, he cares what others say. You're probably right, Crescent Crow. Trust me, I'm about ready to let it go in both barrels. So y'all buckle up. I'm telling you, buckle up. I'm not one to be bullied. Let me just tell you that right now. Anyway, Canada in the house. LaGrange, Georgia. Rock here, South Carolina. Idaho, Colorado, and Oklahoma. Hopefully, I got everybody. If I missed anybody, say sorry. Yeah, let's talk about this. I've been asked twice now by Tessie, whoever this is, about another truther that is supposedly calling me out. First of all, they're not a truther. Second of all, for those of you that don't like my potty mouth, I'm going to try my best here. I think it's much Oklahoma and Colorado. But anyway, so I've had several emails come in, and here's the thing. I understand I'm going to have controversy. I'm going to have people that don't like what I do, people that say, oh, you're fake, you're phony, or this or that. This is what I say. You better stay in your lane, because my lane will run you over and drag your ass down the highway for miles. I'm way out of your league for you to call me on the carpet. That's for other truthers that really, and that's the thing is a lot of truthers and people that I've talked to. Yesterday, somebody said to me, says, I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about other truthers. They all want to bitch and fight with each other, bicker and go back and forth and all that. They want to just go back and forth instead of really doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that's talking to the American people, bringing hope to American people. But instead, they want to gripe at each other, and they want to try to tear each other down, which is why I have always had a policy in this, that we don't discuss these other truthers by name or anything like that. But if you go calling me out, then we have a problem. And I have been called out. So first of all, let me say this. Email was said that Phil and his team in their chats have been saying that I'm a fake, I'm a fraud, and whatever. Let me tell you something, butthole. You're picking on the wrong dude, is what you're doing. Picking on the wrong dude. And after I'm done talking here, this is as much as I'm going to give it, time for. But I wanted to address it because some people can't think for themselves and like, oh, whatever. They don't see what's going on. They just think, oh my God, it must be truth. I can tell you this. Meet me anytime, any place. You show me your credentials, and I'll sure as hell show you mine. That's it. That's it. If you continue to throw my name or this station or this program or anything that I do out, understand this. I don't play anything. I have nothing against Phil, but whoever is trying to stir the poop pot, you probably might want to stop, because I don't trash him. I don't trash anybody else. The only person I knew him to talk about is Brad, and that's not even a bad thing. If you want to come on this program or the chat and stir poop pots that do not need to be stirred, if the problem isn't, and someone says, well, Phil isn't saying anything, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm just addressing what his people are supposedly saying. I'm not going to have innocent people have douchebags come into the chat and say things. I'm not going to do it. Like I said, I haven't heard. I don't know Phil. I am mentioning his name today because of these stupid people that keep emailing. I don't know why my name would be mentioned. Here's the thing. We're supposed to be on the same team. Do you understand that? I have no problem. I'm not trying to do what he's doing, and he's not trying to do what I'm doing. I'm not trying to do what Brad does, and Brad's not trying. We have our own lanes we stay in. At least we're supposed to. And trust me, if I had people that followed me that were guardians or whatever, and stirring the poop pot in other people's camp, I'd address it. I would address them straight up. I'm just saying. Now, for anyone to get off today and go, oh, he just trashed Phil, you're a freaking liar. You're a liar, and I'll find out who you are. And I will. I don't care who he gets his intel from or anybody else, per se. Anybody else. I don't care where they get their intel from. I don't care. But I have told my moderator, and for the other moderators I haven't got to talk to, this is the rule. Someone comes on here and starts saying, somebody said this about you, someone said that, there is a zero tolerance policy. They're blocked. We don't have time. Here's the thing. I'm taking time to address this that I should be talking about other stuff. But I have to address the dumb ding-dongs that want to always stir stuff. I am not the normal podcaster. I'm not the normal person that I'm just the wrong guy for that stuff. Wrong guy. And hear me loud and clear. I have no problem. N-O. For those of you that need sign language, there you go. There's your sign language. I have N-O. No problem with other people. Don't you come in here and start problems with me with other people. And unless you are that person's spokesperson, you probably want to keep your fat trap shut. So from here on out, I don't want to hear no one say nothing or see that. If the moderators see that, they're going to delete you. They're going to block you, delete you and block you. I'm not doing that. I've had to disable the chats after the show just because of people that just can't actually, they don't want to talk to me. They just want to stir the other people in there and try to discredit this show. This show has a ton of law enforcement backing it, has a ton of other things that are behind me that, you know, I'm the wrong one. The wrong one. And that's going to be it. So if anyone goes on Phil's chat or anybody else, so DC said this about you, they're a liar. They're an absolute liar. So that's it. Good policy, great policy. And I'll have some say, well, oh, you're just trying to restrict us from our free speech. It ain't your free speech on this chat. It's my free speech. My rules, my show. If you don't like it, go start your own. But you won't because you're still living in your mama's basement, sucking on her tit, and won't get out of the house and work a job. I don't care. Anyway, DLB 007. That's okay. That's good. I'm glad, but I'm not going to deal with it. Anyway, so moving on from the crap show. So we got a lot of things going on in the world. The Iranian officials are threatening retaliation for Israel strikes. They're saying they were surprise strikes, and they did that went over Thursday. Israel carried out an overnight strike on the southern suburbs of Lebanon capital, Beirut. It was the first actually in several days it's happened, while U.S. officials are still trying to inject, momentum and try to talk about peace in the Middle East. So anyways, what's funny about that is the news will twist that and they go, and seriously, they're like, oh, it was a surprise attack. They had no idea. And they're mad because in war, what do you do? Call, hey man, just letting you know at 2:00 tomorrow about to bomb your butt. And, just want to make sure you knew. And, no, that's why it's called war. War is to win. And then on top of that, it's not about notification. I got to notify them. No, it's about the surprise. That's why whatever. So not only that, you got in Russia, you have the U.S. consulate worker to nearly, they actually sentenced him to nearly 5 years in prison. This was actually yesterday. He worked at the close consulate, and anyways, they got him, and that'll be something that Trump deals with when he's in office. He'll end up coming home. Let's see. Trying to make sure here. Yeah, so that's pretty much, honestly, in the world news, everybody's talking about Trump. Everybody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about, is he going to win? Is he going to win? Are they going to try to cheat? Or are they going to do that? So today, I'm going to talk to you here. I've got a lot of people that's reached out and said, hey, do I take all my money out of the bank? What do I do? I did listen to several people today that was actually on TikTok, and just different things. And they were actually walking around New York saying, oh, they don't know about by 4 o'clock today, it's going to crash and blah, 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 blah. And I'll be honest with you, it can crash. It can crash anytime. It can crash while you're taking a nap. The economy can just in a heartbeat. Sort of like a company coming in and just saying, hey, everybody's laid off. That kind of a deal. You don't know it's coming. It just happens. It's just best to try to be as prepared as possible. I know that there's one guy up in Ohio that's on TikTok. I've watched him a little bit. I'm not convinced too much on him, but he's talking about how martial law's coming. It's coming. It's just coming. It'll be here by this weekend. I don't believe that. I believe things have to take place for it to get to that point. And we discussed that a little bit yesterday and day before yesterday. It's about being prepared. And I understand. We all want to be prepared. You never want to be, you don't want to lose savings. You don't want to lose your money. You don't want to lose different things. I get all that. But it's just, I would much rather lose and I have lost all my savings. And that's what I told somebody yesterday. Listen, I've lost it all, everything. Putting money in and then all of a sudden they go, oh, company went bankrupt and belly up and blah, blah. And how much do I have? Nothing. It's to start over from scratch. It's tough, but you can do it. Not that you want to do it, but I would much rather have my life and my freedom than the dollar bill. That's just me personally. That doesn't mean that you're negligent. You shouldn't be negligent. You should be prepared. And that goes back to this. If you personally, because I get people asking me, well, what do you think about this? And even though I'll tell them what I think, they go, okay, well, I still believe this is going to happen. If you believe that the stock market is crashing today at 4, which I don't believe that. That's just some Yahoo saying stuff. If you believe that, then go take your money out of the bank. That's how you do that. And if not, when come Tuesday, Wednesday next week, you can go walk back in there and put your money back in. Or buy silver and gold or do whatever you want to do. Yes, absolutely. I was actually going to email somebody back on this, but do you think it will be safe to travel 3 or 4 hours home on Thanksgiving? Absolutely. Absolutely. If something was to break down, it's not going to break down in the hometown. It's going to do it down in D.C. That's where it's going to happen at. I know that some people in Florida, Georgia, and different places that have reached out, and they have elderly parents. They're worried about them. I understand. It's but if you're like me, you can tell your parent to do, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z, and they're still old school, hard headed, going to do what they want to do. You can't change some things. They just got to do what they want to do. Thanksgiving. Me personally, for Thanksgiving, I'm debating on, and this just shows you when people say, "Oh, should I travel? Should I not travel?" I don't know. I'm planning on going, going south somewhere. The election will not be decided up for 6 months. DC's thoughts. Okay. Well, how is that possible when the Supreme Court ruled that it must happen within a certain amount of time? And that was just yesterday or day before yesterday, when it was. Can't you remember now? The question was, Juan O says election will not be decided for up to 6 months. DC's thoughts. My thoughts are this. I think the election is going to be decided this next week. I think getting to the point of him being sworn in is going to be contested all the way. Think of this: if Kamala Harris if the vice president is the one that has to certify the election, is she going to certify an election that she knows that she's lost and still demand that she's won? Or think about this one. Let's just, for kicks and giggles, let's say she did win, which she's not, but if she did, so I guess she would go and certify herself? Think about that. Doesn't that seem like conflict of interest? So, yes, we're going to see. You're going to. You want to know facts? I'm telling you facts. You will absolutely see people go crazy. Now, when I say go crazy, I don't mean they're going to run to your house, beat on your door. Let me in. I want all your Chef Boyardee. You know, no dumb stuff. No. What I say is you're going to see a lot of politicians doing things. You're going to see them try to continue to hurry up. Hey, let's get Trump sentenced or whatever. That way he can't, take this. There is nothing that would surprise me. The only thing that would surprise me is if Donald Trump gets up next week and he's talking and he starts grunting and a monkey climbs out of his rear end. Then I'm going to be excited. I'm not going to be excited. I'm going to be like shocked. And I'm just not going to be shocked at anything else that happens, because they will try to. They've been trying to steal the election. They've had some of the voter machines that when you go to vote, Donald Trump isn't even on there. You also have machines that when you go to hit Donald Trump, it's actually spelt wrong. And it's not unnoticed. Let me just say that. It's not going unnoticed. But as much as they are trying and have tried to butcher this thing, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I still believe we're going to see a lot of states that have normally been blue turn red. That have normally been blue turn red. And we just have so many different things that could go down. It's hard to just say this specific one is going down, or this specific thing is going down. It's crazy. I don't have those yet, the numbers yet, but I'm working on those, the current election numbers, because they keep fluctuating. And when I say fluctuating, Donald Trump keeps popping up higher and higher. I mean, it's quite funny, really. It's quite funny how it's popping up and popping down. Now, if for some of you, I see somebody said there's no sound. Well, that's on your end. And if you hear it go dead for a second, it's just because I'm pausing. I'm pausing here. But as far as the results, I don't know yet. Wait for Elon to post all that. Anyway, I'm going to play a couple things here. One of the things that was good, get my mouse to work, that was pretty good was Trump and this lawsuit here.
About a candidate that is trying to tell you he wants to abolish federal taxes. Just abolish them. Like, it's get rid of 150%. What does MAGA mean? MAGA means
trying to get it
make
here.
America great again. When was America great? Well, when it comes to taxes, it was great in the late 1800s. This country was survived on tariffs. Tariffs. We had so much money in this coming into this country, we didn't know what to do with it. Had to create committees to figure out how to spend this money. You won't have to pay into Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. There will be an abundance of freaking money, and you'll never pay taxes again except for your local state taxes. So if you mofos keep screaming and yelling about what a horrible person Donald Trump is while he's trying to get rid of taxes on the American people, every dollar is taxed multiple times. And this affects my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-great-great-grandchildren. That is what makes America great again. Let's go back to that. When tariffs paid for everything in this country, we didn't have to pay a penny. What is so bad about that? Tariffs, terrifying tariffs.
Back to
the
that.
100-200% tariffs are to
pay for everything in this country. We didn't have to pay a penny.
To come here.
What is so bad about that? Terrifying tariffs. The 100 tariffs.
But that equates to billions, if not trillions of dollars every year in generated income that will replace the money that we have to pay the federal government through taxes.
All right. For those of you listening online, sorry about that. For some reason, it didn't come over for you. Anyway, you have to understand where we came from and where we're going. And one of the things is everything has been a major distraction for us. Been a major distraction. And I put something online here. It says distraction. You take away the DIS, it says traction. Take away the DISTR, and it says action. I believe that's where we are right now. We went from the distractions to now we're into action. We're into action. And there are so many things that we just have to continue to so many things we just had to do. I'm going to play you this real quick here. I'll start with this here.
They've given up North Carolina. We had a new
Here we go.
just pulled out resources out of North Carolina. They have to go to Virginia. They've given up North Carolina. We had a new poll coming out this afternoon. Rasmussen has got Trump up by 5 in North Carolina. Stick a fork in the Harris campaign there. They're done. Now they got to move resources into Virginia. Why? All of a sudden, Virginia's in play. Let me give you some numbers that are going to knock your socks off. This is as of Monday. Early voting and mail-in ballots in Virginia. The Democrats right now are up by 150,000. That is down half of what they were up in 2020. So they're only running at half. Now, let me tell you the other thing. If the Trump campaign can hold in Virginia the early vote lead to Harris at 250,000 or under, they're going to carry Virginia. Let me tell you why. In 2021, they had a 225,000 early vote lead on Glenn Youngkin for governor. This is 21. He was able to win rather handily. So they got to keep it under 250. Right now, they're running track on that. They're going to need 54.5% of the vote on election day in order to overcome the 250,000 early vote lead the Democrats have. Now, we've exceeded that both in 2016 and 2020 in Virginia. So if they get there, Trump is going to win the state. Now, let me give you some other good news about Virginia and why the Harris campaign is freaked out. Low propensity voters. These are voters that have not voted in the last 4 elections or only voted in one of the last 4 elections. They're turning out and they're breaking for Trump 65 to 35. He's got a 2-to-1 lead. Let me give you some other good news. In Virginia, these are real votes that are in the 9th district, very red. In 2020, 100,000 people that voted for Trump in 2016 didn't turn out. So far, 13,000 of them have already turned out. They've already voted, early voting, that's 13%. It's going 90-10 Trump. This thing is turning into a rout. Trump's going to win Virginia.
Okay. That's a good one, right? That's a good one. So here's another one.
Virginia, Trump within 3 points. 2 polls have got him within 3 in Virginia right now. Trump has got a real shot to win it. If we can get a big vote in rural Virginia, it's 5th district, 9th, and the 6th. That's what we're targeting. A couple other states, very interesting. You got Minnesota. Rasmussen just came out with a poll last night. That's within 3, the margin of error. Now they have to go protect that. This is where Tim Walz is governor. Why are they only up by 3? They should be up by 10, the Harris campaign. New Hampshire, Rasmussen has that in a statistical dead heat right now. They should be up 8 there. They've got to protect New Hampshire. They got to protect Minnesota. The Harris campaign right now scrambling around. Georgia's done, Florida's done, North Carolina's done. The early voting has been off the charts. If you look at Georgia, this is some crazy stuff going on. Over half the people in Georgia have voted. Over half the people in Florida have voted. Over half the people in North Carolina have voted, all leading to Trump wins in those states. Now, Trump on the garbage truck yesterday doing a press conference out the window with his red vest on, one of the most brilliant campaign efforts I've ever seen. All of this goes to one guy, and that's Chris LaCivita, the campaign manager, who is going to go down in history as running one of the best campaigns in the history of presidential campaigns. That was all LaCivita yesterday. Great campaign manager, Trump on a roll.
All right. Good one there, too.
As we get now into the final week of this campaign, President Trump holding a press conference today in Mar-a-Lago. A couple of key things come out of it. Number one, Trump making his closing argument, knows he's going to win, looking at the numbers, feeling very good about it, acting very much like the President of the United States, very presidential. This is his closing argument. Number one, he focused on crime. He said he was going to get these criminals off the streets. He was going to have a mass deportation program to get them out. He said one of the things he's going to do, which is a new policy, is he's going to be seizing the assets of any of these gangs that he can find. He's going to seize them and then give the money to the victims. This press conference today, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, had a very serious tone to it. Talked about the economy, how it's going to restore that. Talked about the disaster that the Biden-Harris administration has levied on the American people economically. What a clown show it's been. So he talked about economic prosperity. President Trump also, with a quick meeting with ABC News, addressed the fiasco of these two clowns that came on in Madison Square Garden on Sunday. One of them obviously being Tony Hinchcliffe, the comedian. He said, I don't know him. I don't know who picked him. I didn't hear what he had to say. I have nothing to do with it. Distanced himself from that. It was an asinine selection. The remarks were stupid of both Hinchcliffe and also Sid Rosenberg. Neither of these had any place in Madison Square Garden. He could have picked somebody to speak like Matt Whitaker. That was, former Attorney General, law and order. So was it just a bad decision? But Trump distancing himself from that, moving away from it. He said he's worked 58 straight days, haven't taken a day off, talked about the days off that Harris has had. On his way tonight to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Then he's going to go from there.
So anyway, it gives you a little bit of a heads up, kind of what's going on, what's happening in America. This here was right after Madison Square Garden here.
That was an outside, unbelievable. President Trump now hitting on all cylinders. Now, we're in North Carolina today. We're in Winston-Salem. Let me give you the rundown.
Now, that was old. Just let me know that if someone corrects me.
Friday, we're off the charts for President Trump and the Republicans. This has been unheard of. Nobody saw this coming. President Trump is winning the early and combined mail-in vote in North Carolina.
Okay, for those of you in North Carolina that have been really worried, it's still in that way. It's still swinging like that. Kamala, it doesn't matter what the mainstream media is saying. They're lying out their trap. We have, let's see here. I'm pulling up the Elon deal. So right now you have Trump, 68. Nope. Hang on a minute. 69. So he's at 71.420 coming out, and Kamala is at 31.2. So, and I'm looking at the map here. Let me pull up a larger one. I'm looking at it here, and I tell you, I'll be shocked if California and even New York doesn't turn red. And some of these other states that have always been blue, I think we are going to be shocked. We'll be shocked by that, by just some of the things that come out. One of the other things I thought was just brilliant. I actually sent it to my friends, and he was like, so then he called me. He's like, "Oh, you're full of crap. That didn't happen." It's like, "Oh yeah, it did," And then finally, he was able to see it on the mainstream media, and then his pamper was changed for him. He was like, "Oh wow." I have friends like that still are. You could show them black and white, and they would be like, "No, that ain't happening. Trump's failing."
And breaking tonight, Fox Digital is exclusively reporting the former president is suing CBS News for a whopping $10 billion in damages, stating that the network practiced, quote, deceptive conduct for the purpose of election interference when they edited that 60 Minutes interview with Vice President Kamala Harris.
Those of you that could hear, that was actually CBS News is being sued by Donald Trump for $10 billion. Kind of reminds me of Austin Powers a little bit. But yeah, $10 billion because of them, the video coming out, showing what Kamala's answers were and how they edited them to change her to where she somewhat seemed like she was, smart. But she's not. And he's suing them. And here's the thing. Listen to me. Y'all been worried. I told you the news is going to come to a point that they have no choice to tell the truth. There's no way. There's no way around this with the news. CBS put themselves in a sling that their butt can't get out of. Let me give you this scenario. What if they go to court? Of course, they're not going to want to pay no $10 billion. And if they go before the right judge, he's going to say, well, according to executive order such and such, such and such, this is election interference. You're guilty. Guilty. Because you have changed the candidate's words from what they said to what you wanted it to say. That's interfering. And by doing that, that makes other people think, oh, wow, she's a little smarter than what we thought. We're going to vote for her, but she's black. Huh. And before someone corrects me, she ain't black, you need to listen to my show all the time because I know that. But anyway, wouldn't it be great if it goes to court and they get to the point, or they just say, hey, we want to settle out of court. And he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take ownership of CBS. Think of that. Think of that. All of them that have even rebroadcasted her statements. Think of the magnitude of this. Those that have, I know there's groups that are wanting to buy out media and stuff like that, and that's fine and dandy. But Trump set them up. He stood up there when she committed treason by saying that she had met with Zelensky. She had brought him classified documents about Russia. He didn't say anything yet. And he didn't say anything when all this came out about, all these coherent answers that she didn't say. They've edited it all. They will be considered for treason, absolutely treason as well. Wouldn't that be the big hocker? Is that the mainstream media just all got hung up in a big sling that their butt can't get out of, and every one of them, including Fox News, that has played this game, gets their butts in a hanger, and they cannot get out. Oh, that'll never happen. It can't happen. Never say never. Especially with Trump. Never say never. I'm going to play you this here real quick here. This is a guy in D.C. Let me get it here. Let me stop it here. And I'm trying to pull it up on the video and try to play it for the audio for the people. how about this one for you watching at home? It's got Kamala sitting with Ronald McDonald. She's laughing. She's the Mick idiot. Anyway, yeah. Technical difficulties here again, but that's okay. Be sure to November 3rd, we set our clocks back, but November 5th, we take our country back. It's good stuff. Good stuff there. Let's see here. All right. I don't know why it keeps going to that. Oh, well, never mind. I'll just play it. Play the audio. How about that?
In D.C. are being prepared for election violence. Yeah, they're boarding up the windows in anticipation of possible disturbances. Now, we've seen this before in D.C., before big events like the World Bank annual meeting or other stuff, but we haven't seen it yet this election cycle, but we're going to go look for it today. Let's go check this out. So right now, I'm behind the World Bank headquarters on G Street. And the next block or so gets us pretty close to the White House. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're back in the 1700 block, and look at that, 1750G, right next to the White House. The windows have all been boarded up. This is actually the back entrance to the post office. But they have recently, I can smell the plywood, covered the windows here with boards and stuff at 1750 Pennsylvania, or 1750 G Street. Okay, 1750 G is a post office. It's next to the Exchange. The Exchange is a sports bar that has a history in DC espionage. Yeah, there were some Soviet agents or wannabe agents who used to work there taking notes on all the White House personnel that would come down for nefarious purposes. Now, down to the left here is the Uniform Division Steakhouse. The Uniform Division Steakhouse is where the Secret Service Uniform Division goes for dinner. Now, you and I may know it as McDonald's, and it's just up here a bit. Let's go see what the Macker's looks like. This used to be, I think, Bill Clinton's McDonald's. Yeah, the light's changing, all right? Just chill. McDonald's next to the White House. And as you can see, the plywood is going up here as well on this building.
What? McDonald's? So I will post this video to my TikTok so y'all can see it. I wanted you to watch it because you can see it for your eyes. Anyway, he's going around D.C. and yes, there are boarding up businesses, already closing them down, boarding them up, getting them ready for whatever the Democratic Party is going to do. Told you they're going to do it. Let me see here. Where's it at here? There had a question here that I wanted to talk to you about. Well, anyway, I got the answer for it. But, here we go. Hey, DC, but what about Smith-Mundt Act? They are allowed to propagandize, right? Or do I understand it wrong? Actually, they are underneath that act. But here's the thing. That act was actually put in 1948. That act was actually put in 1948, which means this. The executive orders that Donald Trump put into effect, guess what they do? It becomes null and void. They can propagandize all they want, but they cannot have election interference. You know, and so they fall underneath the executive order. The news does too. Why does the news always just fall under freedom of speech and not American people? Why is it? Well, the news can say what they want to do. What are they going to do? They can do whatever they want, but we can't. Well, underneath that act, they could have. But underneath the executive order that Donald Trump, one of them that he put in, because he put in many of them, It said that there could not be election interference, and that detailed from Inside America, news, or anyone that was twisting, turning, or disrupting the election. And they have done that. They have had their candidate, and by having their candidate, they've changed the words of that candidate. Anyway, see, he said McDonald's is where many secrets are. Yeah, I used to eat there all the time. It's just like right over from the White House. Bill Clinton used to jog over there all the time. Shut the daggone city down just because he wanted to get his bag ass over there and get a Big Mac. Do you think that McDonald's knows something? No. I think all the businesses, they know. If we're wondering if something's going to happen, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. But it's not what you think it's going to happen. I've said it over and over. They'll try to say it's January 6th is about the MAGA people are mad because we're contesting this. The MAGA people this, the MAGA people that. And they will try to twist it. That's why I keep saying, for those of you that are new, do not get involved. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get involved. Don't confront unless someone comes and confronts you. Handle your business then, but don't go looking for a fight. Don't do it. And that's why there has been so much movement in D.C. That's why there was you got to boarding up now. And the reason why I'm going to post it to TikTok too is I want everybody to see it. That way they can, well, D.C. said, but I ain't seen nothing yet. I mean, it's amazing. But anyway, boarding it up. Then you got the military out there was doing training exercises the other night. Everybody was freaking out over that. Helicopters everywhere. They're landing. But one person gets off and runs over and jumps on the other one, and they'll take it back off. I would be worried if there was like hundreds of them coming in at one time and tons of military guys jumping off with their weapons. That's when I'd probably shit my pants. Other than that, no. They're getting, and the other thing was, I went over several weeks ago, was how they were trying to pass it to where if something, they were wanting to pass a law and set something into place to where, and I'll try to find it for next week. We don't even really need to find it, guys. You all can Google it because we're way beyond this point now. But the fact is in case something happened and they were all, at least 200 plus were taken out, that way they could immediately have a replacement set aside to immediately step in for them. I am telling you this. This is what you do. You live your life as normal as you normally do. But don't have the fear. Don't have that. It's not going to get us anywhere. Don't pay attention. I'm going to be live most of the day on election night or election day. I'll be off. I'll do my regular show, but we're going to be off and on because I'm going to go take my mom to vote and stuff like that. All that good stuff, right? Family tradition. And we'll do all that stuff. But I'll be back on. And I'll be back on just for the fact of just trying to calm people down. Because if you think that they're not going to try something, you're crazy. They're going to try something. Everybody understand that? DC said they will try to do something. They will try. Donald Trump's going to win. But it will be contested. And the fight, that's why I've been saying it all along. Let's get through the election. And then once the election's done, then what, guys? What have I always said? Then the fight starts. Yeah, we've been fighting all the way up until this point. But the fight starts then because we have to get him to the point, have to get through America to the point of him being sworn in. And then after that, then we go on to the next thing. That's why we can worry about everything. Well, what's going to happen in the next 5 years? I think we've been through enough in the past 4 to wear everybody out. I think it's time we sit back and breathe a little bit. Breathe a little bit. do our thing. And get through this. We'll do it. We'll be back on Monday. We'll do our thing. Several times on Monday we'll be on. We'll have the phone system up to where you can, the Guardians, you'll have your email sent out tonight to where you'll have a phone number. Do not give the number out. And that'll be for the Guardians too. They can call in Monday and we can talk back and forth on the radio. We'll get all that set up. But don't be all bent out of shape. There is a plan. There is a plan. And let me just go back to this. I played it for you yesterday or day before yesterday, but Donald Trump saying, hey, we could have done something 4 years ago. But instead, what we did was we stepped back and hang on a second. What is it? Okay, Catherine, email me the church. Email me the information. Sorry, guys. Yeah, here's the thing. In North Carolina, I was on the phone earlier with some people. In North Carolina, when I say, I'm not going to say something that I don't know. Let me just tell you that wannabe, yep, there. I do know for a fact that CPS is coming in and trying to take kids. They're telling parents, you don't have your electric. You gotta. Another thing is the electric people got some paid or got something taken care of, and they're back out. The linemen are back out, which was great. But in North Carolina, you have CPS are out there and they're trying to take people's kids. They really are. And this email that I just got is like, you got to do something. You got to help them. You got to figure out something because it's bad right now. It's really bad. And I understand we're distracted with the election. I get it. But North Carolina's not even done with. The fight was to get them food and water and get them some supplies. And now the fight is trying to keep their families together. Okay. Okay. The governor is threatening families that if they don't release their children, CPS will come and arrest them and take their children. I'd tell that governor to fuck off. Over my cold, dead hands will you take my child. Hang on a second. Let me look here. Sorry, guys. Stuff kind of
Thank you for calling the office of Governor. We appreciate your call. For the latest information on Hurricane Helene recovery, please go online to ncdps.gov/Helene. Press 1 to connect to 211 and learn about community resources.
I'm going to call this fucker up and see what he's going to do. Jesus. North Carolina, y'all need some different phone systems. Anyway. But yeah, they are going down there. And the other thing is that they do have people down there trying to do land grabs. Because the lithium and all that. Trying to do all that. I even had somebody said, hey, come down here and I'll take you. And I'm going to go down there. But right now we got, and I'm sorry I had to break away here for this, but you got people losing their kids. Watch. It'll be Mickey.
Hello, how can I help you?
They probably won't even answer.
Thank you. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, my name is DC, and I'm calling on behalf of concerned citizens, and plus also I have a radio show, and I'm calling actually to check up on the reports that we're getting that CPS is coming in and taking children from the parents. I would like someone to call me back as soon as possible at Thank you so much. Have a great day. See if those buttholes call me back. It'll be Mickey.
Hi, Mickey.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's that kind of bullshit just goes all through me. That kind of stuff. As if a disaster isn't bad enough. But anyway, I'm planning on going down to North Carolina again and meeting up with some other law enforcement, and they're going to take me to some places that need to where I can physically take pictures of all these documents that CPS and also the state is giving to these people, telling them they have to evacuate their properties because they're taking their land, all that. And there's more intel that I have that I cannot say right now about that I know is factual. But it's just something that has to roll a little further before it can be. Anyway, so yeah, y'all want to do something? Open up your homes. That's what you can do. That just goes all through me how they're doing it. And yeah, I was gonna play the video of Biden, but whatever. I got a bunch of stuff this past week. Some of the riff-raffs that were on to me about the gallows. That's not where it was, and all this other stuff. And so I just want to kind of give you a little bit of background on the gallows, of where they are. And I told you I had to find out. You have them in Kansas, you have them in Kentucky, you have it in Louisiana, you have it in Maryland. There's one in Maryland, you have one in Baltimore, believe it or not. You have one in Washington, D.C. There's one in Massachusetts, one is Maine, there's one in New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont. There's one right outside of California there. There's a lot. There's more than what I thought there was. And just for those who say, oh, well, that ain't possible. That ain't possible. It was actually Obama that purchased all those, remember? I don't know if y'all remember that. Purchased all those gallows, all those not gallows, but the thing to cut your heads off, whatever these are. But anyways, yeah. And that's something else you can research later. I don't even have time for it because we're at an election now. But getting back to that, on the election day will be on here, but you're going to have to guillotines. That's right. Y'all can Google it. Obama purchased guillotines. I think it's like 50,000 that they purchased. Yeah. Y'all right. I used to think that stuff was crazy, hanging and all that stuff, and then you start realizing how true it really was. But coming back to our election here, we got people that are scared. I get it, but what we want to do is with this, we don't want to have fear. That's why Monday we're going to be on here, because you're going to see a shit show. You're going to see them do that. Now, say they do all their planning and they do all their thing, and they see that it's a landslide with Trump. Then there's only two ways this can go. One is you can have Kamala come out and go, okay, he legitimately won, I concede. You know that's not going to happen. I hope you understand that. Maybe that, fine. Yeah. Be a miracle. Oh, look, it's a Christmas miracle. Kamala, she just acknowledged that Trump won. Wow. That ain't gonna happen. No, Trump is not dead, guys. Quit saying that stuff in there. Big dummies. See, and the thing is, people say that, oh, Trump is dead. He's been dead because they watch TikTok and they get bad information from people. Everything you see is not legit. You must start to filter what you take in your mind. Because you'll go to work and go, hey, everybody, did you hear about Trump? He's dead. He's got a guy playing. The guy actually playing. That's why they've been bringing over the illegals. They got some guy named Pablo that's actually got a mask on playing Trump. Yeah. And they'll look at you like you're a baboon. And then we wonder why people don't want to listen to us when we're talking about legitimate things. Watch what you say and be careful how you put it out there. Yes, Obama. Yes. Yep, he did. Obama did do it. But anyways, they're not going to concede, so then we're going to go towards that. And then you're going to have us that must keep a cool head and not do anything dumb. Of course, we always have some goofball that will put on a Trump hat and a shirt and go, hey, I'm going to go do this, and go do something stupid. And everybody goes, oh, he's a Trumper. There probably will J6 happen. It's not going to be us. It will be the Democratic Party putting a little parade on, and all of these crybabies that are with Kamala will be out there ranting and raving. But I got news for you this. I got news for you. If you've seen any of, well, most of Kamala's voters, if you've seen any of them, if it's anything like what we saw at the Democratic Party that was standing outside and crying around and spitting, and all they want to do is walk around with their rainbow flag and all that. Those are really no threat. Those are the kind of people that anti-gun, all about love. It's all about love until they lose. And then it's about, oh, it's a hate speech. It's hate speech. And this is where I'm at with all this. This is factual. We have had people that have been in plain sight that have not been who they say they have been. We are beyond the point right now of people saying, well, so-and-so's wearing a mask. Well, so-and-so, because none of that does jack crap for America right now. None of it does. I don't care what happened in 1942. I don't care what happened in 1990. I don't care what happened in 2020 now. We're talking 2024. The same people that did things in 2020, 50% of those people are out of the picture. But we just have new players. I'm not saying they're dead. I'm saying legitimately you have people that have left those positions and you have other people replacing them that are maybe younger, smarter, and at least we think they're smarter. Who knows? But we are beyond, and I want you to understand this. For anyone that has believed anything, it's okay. It's fine. I'm there with you. I know a lot. I've talked about it a lot. But we are beyond what happened in 2020. We're beyond it. We must, from this moment on, be encouraged to carry it forward. But if we're too busy, got our eyes back, well, in 2020 they did this, and in 1940 they did this, and this, then we're going to lose it. We're just going to lose our minds over it. We can't do that. We need to let the ones that are the blue ones come out and, oh my God, and cry and do their thing. Just let them do their thing. But for us, we can't do that. And I'm not being rude. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, hey, guys, we can sit and think about the past all day long of how the past did us wrong and how this, and you can't do that. You got to move on. It's like getting married to somebody that you were married to somebody and they were very abusive to you, but then you get into the new marriage and then all you do is they can't even fart and go, oh, when we was together, he farted and put my head under the covers and hold me down and make me get. I mean, just stuff like that. You carry the baggage over with you. It's time to let the baggage go. Donald Trump come out in a dump truck, trash truck. It's time for you to put that old luggage in that trash truck and let him haul it off. Let it be done. Let him be done. We can't engage him. We're not going to engage him. We're going to celebrate our victory, but we're going to fight. We're going to continue to fight for the swearing in. Once the swearing in happens, then guess what? We're still in a fight. It's just not as intense to get our guy in there. But they're not going to let him in there and not fight him. It's just not going to happen. You have to keep that in mind. Because I know a lot of people have reached out to me and said, hey, do you really think Trump's going there? Because, man, if he gets in there, I just know we can sit back and breathe easy. Well, you're full of crap if you think that. It's him being in there is not so we can sit back and just, well, I can just sit back down and smoke my cigar and let Trump do his work. No. They're still going to fight. Just because he's in there doesn't mean that they've done. They'll still probably try to prosecute him. They'll still try to do stuff. But we're under a different regime with him. And what I mean by that is this. We have people that are fighting for us. And not only that, we have to get to the point that we have Donald Trump, that we have the view that we had the last time. And that was him walking out on the carpet in front of all those people. All those people. When they said it couldn't be done, we could never do it, we did it. We put our guy in. We have got to be encouraged. Now, through this weekend, you're going to hear all kinds of stuff. If it gets crazy, I'll be back on. But I'm just telling you, you're going to hear all kinds of crazy stuff this coming weekend. You're just going to. Don't panic. Don't be all upset. We're a blessed people in this nation, believe it or not. Because we get to do this. We don't have some tyrant saying, I'm going to. That's been the problem with the administration we've had. They've tried to be a tyrant and say, it's just going to be this way and this way. Whether people like it or not, we're taking away your rights. Sort of like in North Carolina right now. We'll just going to take away your kids because you won't comply with what we say. Somebody needs to go knock on the governor's door and knock on his door and say, hey, Jack, what's up? What's up? Unreal. But anyways, this weekend, there'll probably be a whole much more crap show go down. You're going to hear a bunch of stuff. Don't buy into it. Don't believe it. We win. We're going to win. Donald Trump's going to win. We're going to get through this. No matter what they say, we're going to get through this. You got to have hope and faith. You understand it? You got to say it to yourself. Hope and faith. Got to have hope and faith to get through this. I'll be back Monday. We'll get through this. We'll get through this, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. God bless you and God bless America. Trump is still your daddy. Have a great weekend.
We stand up and make America great again. United we'll fight for what we believe is right. Together we'll shine in the darkest night.